The matchup is officially set for Super Bowl 60. The Patriots taking on the Seattle Seahawks. You can see right there, Seattle 4.5-point favorites. A lot of folks, well, every single person at ESPN is picking the Seattle Seahawks to win this game in their early previews. Well, I'm going to tell you guys on today's show why we aren't going to have a complete blowout of the Seattle Seahawks. We're previewing Super Bowl 60, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome into Patriots Today by Chat Sports. I am your host, Brett Alper, and if you don't remember, 11 years ago, almost to the date, a rematch of Super Bowl 49 where the Butler did it. Malcolm Butler picks off Russell Wilson, and we win Super Bowl, which started the second dynasty. But I just wanted to first off just take it in. Just take it in. It has been a long 7 years, and I know a lot of people outside of the Patriots fan base will probably be mad about this, but first time in 7 years that the Patriots are AFC champions. So just enjoy it, ladies and gentlemen. We are back in the Super Bowl, and the new era has begun. The new era in New England with Mike Vrabel and specifically Drake May. And we're selling t-shirts of it. Chatsports.com/we're back. You can get it in navy. You can get it in black. It's Tom Brady handing off the torch to Drake May. I think this was a sweet design, so we wanted to get these out for you guys. Selling merch. Get it before the Super Bowl. Once again, chatsports.com/we're back. That'll also be in the comments and description of today's video. So let's kind of talk about just the Patriots game in general 2 weeks from now. They get 2 weeks to rest, which is a huge deal. And two injuries that we need to specifically watch because no one in particular except for Robert Spillane got hurt in yesterday's game against the Broncos. Harold Landry, he's dealing with a knee injury, and also Robert Spillane, he had an ankle injury that he kind of like re-roughed up, re-aggravated, but he was on the field. He was celebrating, so I kind of don't expect Spillane to miss any time. If it was maybe next week, I'd say, it'll be questionable. But 2 weeks rest, that is a big deal. I expect him to get back in the field. For Harold Landry, I don't know. I think this injury, his knee injury, is a lot worse than people are speculating because he missed 2 games and he's only played 10 snaps in the last 2 games for the Patriots. I hope the best for him. We'll see how 2 weeks of rest does, but it's not looking good. I wouldn't be surprised if he got surgery on that knee after. But as for the Seahawks, 3 injuries that you got to look forward going into the Super Bowl. And not look forward to, obviously, but kind of look at going into the Super Bowl. Zach Charbonnet, he's torn his ACL. He will be out for the year. Charles Cross, he's been dealing with, I've talked to Seahawks host Will Ortner, and he says he's got a foot injury, he's got a hamstring injury, he's got lower leg injury, all over the place. But Sam Darnold is the biggest injury that I want to focus on, and that is the oblique. Because right now, it seems like he's fine. But as you got into the NFC Championship game, if you watched it with us in our stream yesterday, you saw they were putting a heating pad all over his oblique. So it's kind of interesting how that is going to progress throughout. Once again, you have 2 weeks to rest, but is that oblique going to bother him? And with this Patriots defense, and they are swarming to the quarterback, you get some hits on him, how is that going to be? It's going to be interesting to see how they practice throughout. But let's go to what we've been doing throughout every single playoff preview. And talking about the edge. Who has the edge in every specific aspect of the game? So we'll start off with the head coach, and I'll go through the head coaching quick. Because Mike Macdonald, well, he's only been a head coach for 2 seasons. And Mike Vrabel, he's now been to a Super Bowl. He's been to 2 AFC championships. He's won his division multiple times. He has been a 1 seed, 2 seed. I'm giving him the edge at the head coach. The quarterback, look, Drake May did not play well in yesterday's game against the Denver Broncos. He didn't play well. And throughout the playoffs, he hasn't played the best. But I'm going with Drake May over a guy that is quoted by saying, I'm seeing ghosts every single day of the week. He played perfect during the regular season. I know that Drake May is better than Sam Darnold. I know that he is better than Sam Darnold. And because the stats, well, they don't lie. If you look at the completion percentage, Drake May has a better completion percentage, more yards, more touchdowns, less interceptions, better QB rating. And oh yeah, Darnold, a little sneaky quick. He can sometimes make plays with his legs only when he needs to. But when you see Drake May, 450 yards. How did they win the game yesterday? Drake May, a lot of yards rushing, over 60, including the first down at the end of the game that he called himself. Didn't tell anybody on the offense, hey, I'm going to keep this. It was a design play to Ramondre Stevenson. He said, I'm doing the bootleg, naked bootleg, and I'm getting the first down and winning this game. As for running backs, wide receivers, and tight ends, Seahawks easily. Look, the running back K9, he's a free agent, and he is going to get paid. He's going to get paid. Tight end, A.J. Barner is a new and upcoming tight end. I think he is going to be a star in this league. And then wide receiver-wise, I mean, they have the best wide receiver in football. Good luck stopping Jackson Smith and Jigba, because every single defensive back, I don't care who it is, Gonzo's most likely going to be on him. Good luck, man, because that dude is absolutely insane. Yesterday's game, and that's just the half of it. Yesterday's game in a championship matchup, 10 receptions, 153 yards, 1 touchdown. He is the first wide receiver to get over 100 yards receiving in a championship game all the way back in 2016. And if you guys want some history, Chris Hogan did it against the Pittsburgh Steelers in that championship game. But 15.3 yards per catch. JSN is an absolute dog. He can make one-handed catches. He can moss the living hell out of you. It does not matter. He does everything on the field. I'm scared of Jackson Smith. I am terrified of him, and I'm looking forward to that matchup between him and Gonzo, or if you put Marcus Jones on him, anything in between. To the offensive line, I'd say about even. I mean, I wouldn't say like Seattle's offensive line is insane. I wouldn't say the Patriots' offensive line is insane. Will Campbell did play better yesterday, did not let up a sack to Nick Bonito, and Nick Bonito is supposed to be one of the best edge rushers in the NFL. But if you look at this offensive line, and these are the PFF grades if you want to take a look at them, I mean, nothing really stands out. Gray Zabel's decent. I mean, Bradford's okay. Lucas is their best right tackle. And then Sundell is a good center. But when you kind of look at the comparison between that and also with your left tackle, Charles Cross, who's dealing with some injuries, he is not going to be fully healthy. But when you look at the Patriots, it's kind of around the same. If you look at their right tackle, of course, Morgan Moses, he's been solid this year. Mike Uwenu is having a breakout season. Garrett Bradbury's still on that insanity run that I keep talking about it. But then on the left side, as long as Will Campbell can play good, you are going to win this ball game. If you can protect Drake May, we have seen it time in and time out, that he is going to make the play. He is going to complete the pass, because that's exactly what he did yesterday. The few times that he had time to throw the ball, specifically like that flea flicker to Matt Collins, the 2 passes to Matt Collins, they were both completed. He had time to throw. When he doesn't, that's when he crumbles up and gets sacked, but he can still make plays with his legs. This offensive line is going to have to hold. And I'll tell you this much. No penalty holding. No penalty holding. But they're going to have to hold the line. Hold the line. And especially going up against this defensive line, which their front 7, we'll talk about it, because the Patriots have gone up against top 5 defenses, against the Chargers, against the Texans, against the Broncos, and then I think they might have to face their hardest defense 2 weeks from now against the Seattle Seahawks. So this is going to be a hard time for the offensive line. I'm a little nervous. I'm not specifically nervous. Will Campbell bounced back. I watched back, and I was like, okay, he actually played well. Morgan Moses, different story. He did not play very well. But let me know down in the comments section. Are you nervous about the offensive line? Go down in the comments right now. Give me a Y for yes, or give me an N for no. We're going to get to on the defensive side who has the edge. But in a second, I got to tell you about our sponsor of today's show, and that is Prize Picks. The big game is almost here, and there's no better way to cash in during America's biggest sporting event than Prize Picks, where it always feels good to be right. And since the big game is right around the corner with New England in it, that also means it's your last chance to get into the football action before next season. So close the season out right with Prize Picks by getting $50 instantly in lineups when you play your first $5. Prize Picks, simple to play. Just pick more or less than 2 to 6 player stat projections. And if your picks are right, you can cash in. There's a new feature on Prize Picks, early payouts. If your player gets out to a hot start, you now have the option to cash out those winnings before the game even finishes. You can find your community on Prize Picks with the new social feeds feature. You can share Prize Picks with your friends and copy lineups from winners with a single click. You can copy the lineups you like or use them as inspiration as your own picks. Download the app today and use code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks. It's good to be right. Let's go to the interior defensive line, because that's the one thing where I look at, and I am giving a slight, and I mean the slightest of slight edges to the New England Patriots. And why? Well, because the Patriots, I think, have the best interior duo with Christian Barmore, with Milton Williams. You also bring in Kyrus Tonga. Leonard Taylor made the field goal block, and he's a defensive tackle, brought up for the practice squad. Corey Durden. There are a lot of players. But when you look at the top two guys on the Seahawks, they are just as good, and they get a lot more tackles than the Patriots. Byron Murphy and Leonard Williams at 69 and 65 tackles, all the way compared to Milton Williams and Christian Barmore. But when you look at the sacks, they're kind of similar, but the Patriots run a different kind of defense, and if you look at the run stoppages between both of these guys, they are around the same. But the one thing I want to look at specifically, and it's that last stat there, and that is pressures. You can see Milton Williams missed 5 games, and he has only 53 pressures compared to Byron Murphy, 57, who played all 17 games. That is very close. These guys are very, very similar. And if you want to go up, number 1 for interior defensive line, Christian Barmore and Milton Williams, and then also add Kyrus Tonga and Corey Durden in there. And then right on the bat at second place is the Seahawks with Murphy and Leonard Williams. You are going to have to hold specifically the center, right guard, left guard. Those guys are going to have to hold completely. The edge rushers, I got to give it to the Seahawks. And it's because of one player in particular who is a demon on the right side of the field, and that's DeMarcus Lawrence. And when you look at just the type of stats that he had, 53 tackles, 11 tackles for loss, 6 sacks, and 1 pass breakup, you could say, oh, well, K'Lavon Chaisson had more sacks. Brett, well, DeMarcus Lawrence gets to the quarterback almost every single time. And with Harold Landry injured, it's been Anthony Jennings. And Anthony Jennings has been really, really good, specifically on the run side. He still gets a little bit of not as much pressure to the quarterback, but if you try to run on him, he's tackling you every single time. For the linebackers, I got to go completely even on this one. And because, well, if the Patriots aren't fully healthy, if Robert Spillane can't play, then the edge goes to, obviously, the Seattle Seahawks. But when you take a look at their linebackers, yeah, Drake Thomas and Ernest Jones are both solid players. And I think Ernest Jones is a great middle linebacker. But when you compare them to Robert Spillane and Christian Ellis, 2 of those guys who are hard-hitting MRFers, those guys are hard-nosed players. They are aggressive. And that is one of the reasons why this Patriots defense is so threatening, because they swarm you. Christian Ellis has been a demon on the defensive side since the postseason started. And Robert Spillane, he doesn't miss tackles. So I got to put it completely even. And then when you go to the secondary, this one was a no-brainer for me. And we could talk about how Devon Witherspoon got the All-Pro nod over Christian Gonzalez, which I think is complete BS. The secondary goes to the Patriots. Because other than Devon Witherspoon, I watched Reek Woolen yesterday talk a whole bunch of trash to Puka Nacua and then get burned right after next play for a touchdown. But let's talk about Devon Witherspoon, because, like I said, he got the All-Pro nod for after Christian Gonzalez. So he was second team, and Gonzo only got a Pro Bowl. And if you look at the Pro Bowl, Shedeur Sanders just got nominated to the Pro Bowl, so that's how much of a joke that is. But 84 tackles, 85 for Devon Witherspoon. Gonzo has more pass breakups, including the postseason. They both have 1 interception. But the one thing I look at the most, completion percentage. Gonzo was only allowing 44.6. QB rating. Gonzo is only allowing a 58.3. When you're targeting Witherspoon, the quarterback has a 100 QB rating. That's what I noticed when looking at PFF. And the completion percentage is 75. He actually has not been an amazing cornerback in football, and Gonzo is the better one. And then when you look at everybody else in the secondary, Marcus Jones makes amazing plays. He is becoming one of the best nickel corners in football. And Carlton Davis, have no complaints about him unless he's getting a DPI call, which he got 0 yesterday. So I got to give the secondary to the Patriots. And then special teams. This is a quick one. It's the Seahawks. Andy Borregales missed 2 field goals yesterday, and Bryce Behringer was terrible. Bryce Behringer was awful. And Jason Myers, who was the Seahawks kicker, it was almost perfect from 50-plus this season. He is one of the best kickers in football. That's one thing that you haven't talked about. But Brandon Schooler needs to get his flowers. He is incredible. And one thing that I will say is punt returns, kick returns, Do not kick the ball to Rashid Shaheed in the Super Bowl. For the love of God, please do not do it because we will get bad things will happen. He will return a kick. No doubt about it. No doubt about it. So I got to give the edge to the special teams. This is going to be a hard matchup. Going in, nobody's picking the Patriots. Nobody. I am. I have the Patriots winning this one 31-27. I think it's going to be a close game. I think this is going to be a high-scoring game because everybody's like, oh, well, we saw the AFC Championship, and there was no scoring there. There's no scoring going to be for the Patriots in the Super Bowl. No. Drake May is going to figure it out. That's what always happens. Watch every single AFC Championship game of this past. But this is going to be a tough matchup. And we want to talk about how hard the Houston defense was. We want to talk about how hard the Denver defense was. The Seahawks defense is just as good. So everybody is going to have to step up. I have trust in this Patriots defense. It's the offense that I'm completely worried about. If Drake May can step up, if this offensive line can hold, if Stephon Diggs can get open and Ramondre can hold on to the football and gain 6 yards per carry, they will win this game. Sam Darnold's going to see ghosts out there. I guarantee it, especially with how good this defense is. They're underrating this defense, guys. Everybody is. It's not just this Patriots offense, too. It's the defense that has stepped up more than anybody. Let me know down in the comments section who you got. Type your NEs, or if you're a Seattle Seahawks fan that's just randomly watching this video, appreciate you watching, but even you, spam your NEs down in the chat. Hit that sub button. We got coverage for you for all throughout the week. Super Bowl, Super Bowl, Super Bowl, Super Bowl. Go and hit that sub button right now. The Patriots in the Super Bowl, and we'll see you guys later this week. Let's go, Pats.